Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions as we just walk through the Bible together this year. The passage we're going to highlight today comes from Luke chapter 7, where Jesus looks at the people around him and says, "Let me tell you what this generation is like." Now, we always hear people talking today about, we're going to reach our generation. Well, Jesus said, let me tell you what my generation is like. He said, "To what shall I compare the people of this generation? What are they like? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling out to each other. We played the flute for you and you did not dance. We sang the dirge and you did not cry out." Jesus said, you want to know what this generation is like? It's a bunch of controlling children. It's children who think that because they set themselves up and they do something, everybody should respond to them. He said, you're just a narcissistic, self-centered generation. Now that's what he said to the people of his day. Now I look at the modern church growth movement today, and in fact I just was reading a book yesterday called Dining with the Devil, and it talks about the destructiveness of business and marketing principles in the church today. And as I look at this generation around the world and I see how churches are driven by surveys and polling, just like politicians. They're not driven by prayer. I thought Jesus is the head of the church. Well, if Jesus is the head of the church, we don't take surveys among the people and say, what do you want? We and all the people, we get on our face before God and ask God, what does He want? Now, brothers and sisters, we must back up a little bit and realize that you can build a country club with a survey. You can build a social movement with a survey. But you build a church in prayer. Because if you're going to run a church by responding to the narcissistic self-centeredness of a generation, and this is what we want, you respond to us, you respond to what we are doing. That's not how you change a culture. You can engage that culture, but you can't change that culture. You can go be a part of that culture, but you can't change that culture. We change the culture by going counterculture. We say, God, what do you want us to do in this world today? God, what do you have for us to do? And then we implement what God says, not what the polling numbers say. Now, some of you are pastors that are listening to this today. Would you please take your marketing books and your how to do church survey and polling books, and would you take them and throw them in a garbage can today? And you and the leaders of your church get on your knees before God and say, God, Jesus, you're the head of the church. You show us what you want done. You show us the speakers that you want us to have. You show us the sermons that you want us to preach. You show us the emphasis that you want us to have. You show us the projects that you want for us to do. Jesus, you're the head of the church. And let's stop responding to the narcissistic self-centeredness of the world culture. And let's respond to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords.